I made a mod for Stalker Shadow Chernobyl, and what it does for you is it makes you want to kill yourself. Welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about the Stalker Cock and Ball Torture mod I made for Shadow Chernobyl. Yes, I'm a grown-ass man, and this is what I do with my free time. With that out of the way, in case this is the first video you're seeing from me, hi, I'm Merc Monologuer. I make brain rot YouTube video essays about games you might like, and also maker of memes such as these right here. So, back to the topic at hand. I was thinking recently about how can I make some more engaging content for my viewers, connect with my audience, make you guys laugh, and also eventually make that sweet YouTube ad revenue, since all true merc enjoyers care about is money. And I came up with the idea that I'm going to be live streaming my next recording session for you guys to jump in and ruin by spawning any number of mutants on my head at any time, and having it get jumped worse than Mahito.
Fight back, man!
The basic concept of this mod is that while I'm streaming, if someone either subscribes or decides to tip, it will spawn in as some sort of monster on my head. So if someone subscribes, it'll spawn in one of these little guys, a Snork. Isn't he cute? No, I fucking hate these things. I hope they all burn in hell. Additionally, if someone decides to tip $1 to $5, it'll spawn 10 rats to try to tear me apart.
Cheese to meet you? By Sigma! It's a talking rat! I'm going inside!
$5 to $10 will spawn 3 pseudo dogs next to me, which in case you aren't familiar are essentially just pit bulls named Cupcake and I'm a small child. $10 to $15 will spawn in a bukkake of bloodsuckers directly on top of me. And then lastly but not least, $15 or more will spawn in 3 quesos to try to eat me. The basic idea of this is that I wanted to have the free option so that everyone can come and interact with the stream for free, since I know people actually have bills to pay and responsibilities and have jobs and family, although I know a lot of you also don't, and you need a job application stat. You know who you are. So if you're feeling a bit sad after Valentine's Day and you need some parasocial interaction to cheer you up, I'll be streaming on February 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can come, hang out, and have some fun instead of touching yourself alone in your room, you dirty fuck. So yes, in case you're wondering, the entire start of this video was just a long lead up to my first stream announcement. You're welcome. Otherwise, the rest of this video is just going to be me explaining the process of creating this mod, which was essentially about as enjoyable as me sucking on the car exhaust pipe of a car currently running, along with a little bit about how it works under the hood. If you want to use this mod yourself, I'm going to be including a GitHub page down below. That'll essentially give you a tutorial about how to set it up, and also be a place for you to ask questions to me in case you run into any issues I may not have found. So, creating this mod was a challenge as Shadow Chernobyl is old enough to adopt a child in the state of Montana, and most of the modding documentation online is written in Russian. If you can't tell, as a red-blooded American, I can't read Russian. And now, I know someone's gonna say, hey, we live in 2025, you could just Google Translate it, and yeah, you have a point, but also the pages wouldn't load. I wasted like 30 minutes of my life that I'm never getting back just waiting for that. So, you're welcome for me putting myself through that. So, Lua. Lua is an itty-bitty scripting language created in 1993 that's now used all over the place. I think its most popular implementation is in Roblox, although I don't play that game since all the videos in my feed about it, about how there's a bunch of predators on there, and I'm starting to wonder if I need to call the police.
I'm 13.
Yeah, you see that rubber ducky? We finna get you nice and clean. We finna get you nice and clean. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Shadow Chernobyl also uses Lua scripting in its game engine, and people often use it for modding for their own purposes. So I figured that this would be a great place to start. No, the fuck it wasn't. Since I found out pretty quickly that Shadow Chernobyl uses some rinky-dink old version of Lua that doesn't include basic features such as being able to read from a file. And that's a problem because my main goal here is essentially get a message from another program to tell the game, hey, please spawn these enemies on this idiot. But the game was acting like one of those weird teenagers that just stay in their room all day, scrolling on a 4chan. They got some strangely crusty stalks to the floor that crunch if you step on them, and they might have something strange going in the room. I don't know what's going on with them. But After fighting with it for about a day and a half and losing worse than Conor McGregor against Khabib, I had to start looking elsewhere. And by searching, I found the OGSR Engine project online. Now, in short, the OGSR Engine project is an open source project, which means that you're free to read through and modify the source code for your own purposes. And if you're a maintainer of this repository, I love you. Now, I could have started with the source code, but I was feeling lazy and still wanted to try Lua, since I found that the engine uses a much more updated version of Lua with those basic features such as being able to read from a file. I thought that was my solution until I tried it and this happened. So now, lost and afraid, I had to start looking at the dreaded source code. Now, a little bit about me. I come from a computer science background, and I'm a bit of a professional computer toucher in my day job, but this shit scared me, just due to the sheer amount of files. Like, where do you even start with this? Is it here? 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 I don't fucking know. So, how did I figure this out? Am I some super cool computer hacker genius that meticulously combed through every single file and function until I found what I was looking for? No, it was ChatGPT. It was a ton of ChatGPT to help me figure it out. So eventually I was able to find the place to kind of drop the code I was looking for. And I was able to write the function.
No. You mean I wrote. I did all the work. You did nothing.
Okay, fine. ChatGPT found the place for the code and started writing the function. And boom, we had success. I was able to spawn in enemies and we had successfully achieved Bloodsucker Bukkake. This is the pinnacle of mankind's achievements. I'm sorry guys, it's all downhill from here. I don't know what to tell you. But now, in case you're wondering about how this thing actually works under the hood, I took the time to make a beautiful diagram for you guys to help explain it. I know, graphic design is my passion. So up here on the right, we have you, which I just decided that this is what you look like. And there's really nothing you can do to the contrary, so this is canon now. But let's say that during the stream, you decide to either tip or subscribe, which I'd love if you did either. Essentially what your computer will do is it'll send a message to the streaming service's backend to then do its black magic processing, do whatever it needs to do, and then send it my way. On my end, I'm gonna have a server sitting here that's essentially acting as an excited puppy, waiting for you to throw the frisbee. Because once it receives the message from the streaming backend, then it'll get the information about what event occurred, to then do the decision making, essentially saying, all right, how many enemies are going to spawn in on top of this idiot's head? After it does that decision making, it's simply going to send it straight over to the game engine right over here, which will then essentially just take the command and be like, all right, boss, let me just spawn it in and fuck up this dude's day and have him get killed. Now, that was a very high level explanation about how this works. Again, I'll be having the GitHub page down below to walk you through how to set this up step by step and also for you to ask questions. Again, I'll be streaming on February 15th at 7 p.m. EST. So feel free to drop by. And yeah, that's all on my front. And endings are hard. So jump scare.